tuned in to the Cold Hard Truth, Cayman's #1 hard-hitting live podcast show, where we feature some straightforward conversations on political, social, and celebrity news and all things happening in the Cayman Islands and around the world. This show was created to give the people a voice and a means of being involved and informed without any filters. Sometimes it gets crazy, but we always keep it real. We bring you the tea, piping hot, so grab your favorite beverage and join the conversation via WhatsApp at 324-1612. Email tips@caymanmarlroad.com. Now, here's your host, Sandy Hill, broadcasting live from the beautiful Cayman Islands.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Fab Friday. What is going on? OMG, yesterday was the most interesting day. I can't tell you guys much about it because apparently I learned something new yesterday, which I did not know, that if you're in a jury trial and the jury isn't there, you can't report on whatever transpires when the jury isn't there. And wow, has a lot been transpiring. I don't know if you can report on it afterwards. I'm going to check the logistics of that because I think all of us need to make a point of going to court more often and literally just sitting in on these cases and, just learning what is going on. Because that's the only way to do it. If the media can't report on it, you can still go and sit down and watch it. I also feel like our judiciary needs a complete overhaul from the perspective that wouldn't it be nice if, just like in the US, you could, watch these proceedings on the TV and not have to even go anywhere, like it could live stream and you could access the live stream. Well, that's not permitted either. So it's so incredibly different than certainly what I have been used to. And to be quite honest, I'm only now following the judiciary with the view to now, meaning the last couple of years really, with the view to doing so for professional reasons. Now the hair is kind of I put some curling stuff in it this morning, so it's a little bit more volume than yesterday when the curls were a little bit tighter. But yes, so very, very interesting. Every day you learn something new, and that was something that I learned yesterday. Um, mm, mm, mm. All I can't even say anything because I don't want to give this person who I know is sitting here trolling us and watching us. I don't want to give them any ammunition to claim an unfair trial. But what I would say is, during the proceedings of any case now, we know that we need to be extremely, extremely careful, and we will certainly do so going forward. Even in terms of your comments, I'm going to ask you guys to be very, very careful with your comments once a trial has begun, because people, will seek any reason at all to use that. So, yeah, that's all I can tell you. Anyway, it is a Fab Friday. How are you all doing? I trust that you're well. The ability to be able to learn something new every single day, trust and believe when I tell you that, I guess we all have to do our best to ensure that that's exactly what happens and what we do. And, eh, what a thing. What a thing. I don't know what to say. Anywho, Brandon, good morning. Good morning, Miss Morna. Anne Marie is here for it. You guys know I put a little bit of moisture on my face in the mornings, and I hope I don't come across looking a little bit too moisturized. Miss Olivia is here. Moisture is good. I know a lot of you think black don't crack, but regardless of how much melatonin you have in your skin can get very dry, especially in this hot weather that we have here. But I find I have very dry skin anyway, and I think part of it is I probably don't hydrate enough, like from the inside. So I'm not drinking enough water. I remember when I was in Tampa, it was like the same thing. Once winter hits, oh my God, my skin was so ashy, and so I gotta hydrate literally with oil. So I use body oil to hydrate my skin, especially my feet. They get very dry and crackly if I don't hydrate them every single day. So normally as I get out of the shower, one of the first things I do is to put on some body oil and try to keep that moisture that I've just gotten from the shower in the body, and top it off with some body oil and some nice lotion. So Miss Anne Marie, Olivia, Jennifer, anybody else got any dry skin woes? Do let us know. Miss Judy's here. Today is Friday. I don't feel like we're going to talk about anything incredibly serious. We kind of did that yesterday. Luisa, how are you? Felicia's here. Irvelyn, Louis, buenos dias. Good morning, tea timers. Marshall from North Carolina. Elizabeth. Sophia is here. Good morning. There's lots going on for the weekend. Have you gotten your COVID vaccine yet? Alice, Dodette, Miss Beulah, Irvelyn, Rosie, who is missing from having had their COVID vaccine? Well, I haven't had mine, and I need to get it. So I was thinking about doing it tomorrow, actually, because miraculously my shoulder's feeling better. Now, I don't want Cindy's head to grow exponentially because she won't be able to fit through the door if her head's that big. But day before yesterday, I was at court and I was telling Cindy about this pain in my shoulder, and it was really bad. I think I mentioned it to you guys on Wednesday morning as well. It wasn't nice. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain. And Cindy's like, oh, let me help you. I was like, Cindy, what are you talking about? Oh no, when I was at the salon, I learned this little move from the masseuse, and here I am thinking to myself, oh yes, child, make Cindy break your arm, because that's exactly what's about to happen here. And I was still kind of thinking about it, to be honest, when Cindy kind of took my arm. She's like, no, just relax, and boop. And I was like, oh my God, Cindy, I think you just literally broke my arm. Like, I'm in so much pain. But here's the irony of it. By later on that afternoon, late afternoon, I was actually feeling better. And I'm thinking to myself, let me not say anything yet. Maybe this is like a placebo thing, or it's just like something like I couldn't believe it. And I tell you no lie, yesterday I was relatively pain free. Now, if I move it back, which has always been an issue, like if I try to like bend it behind my back, I don't have the range of motion that I really should. And that's why physio is going to be the way to go. But in terms of like ongoing pain, like if I'm just standing like this, and even if I go now and try to pinpoint the area, even to the touch, it's a little bit sore, like right here. I can feel it a little bit, but it's nowhere near where it was. I am absolutely shocked. Now, Cindy, I don't even know she's listening. I do not want Cindy going around doing this to people because I feel like it's probably a stupid move. And it's one of those things that would land you in some jackass pages where you'd be like, oh, this woman in the Cayman Islands just had her arm broken because her friend was doing this chiropractic massage maneuver. But it actually worked. I mean, I cannot believe it. All the painkillers in the world, all the physio, all this kind of stuff. And here we are. Cindy from Windsor Park was able to go crack. And, you know, it is all better. I'm still in a little bit of shock, to be honest, like legit. But I am afraid to like tell you guys that because I don't want you running out there and be encouraging Cindy to do this sort of thing to people. But hey, the proof is in the pudding. I'm pain-free. That's all I can tell you, right? Miss Anne, good morning. Anne is in quarantine. How are you? She said years ago, Caymanians used to drop into court back then. We knew all the cases. There are probably not as many cases popping off as there are now, I suspect, because now it seems to me that the court list is, woo, every day I look at it, I'm like, Lord, which case do I decide on? And so the judiciary has put this procedure in place where we now have to put in writing, you know, that we are requesting a file for viewing, which absolutely no problems with. So, okay. These people are always messaging us about stuff, putting content on our page. And I never really know if they're like legit people from overseas. I'm looking at an email now going, Anywho, So yeah, so I mean the cause list is very, very busy, and you know, we have to put in this this request form, and it seems like for some reason it's taking the court a very long time. This is the administrative staff to approve these requests. So on average, it's taking them about 5 days, which I think is a bit long for like a file, you know? So I know that they're busy. Everybody's overworked. They're short-staffed, yada, yada, yada. Nobody really cares about the excuses, to be honest. When you're in the business of delivering a service, whether you're a civil servant or not, it doesn't really matter. But I do think that what ends up happening is civil servants think that they can use these excuses. That can't happen. You know, so the excuses start to fall away when people need you to do your job in order for them to carry out their business. So, I'm hoping that after a number of emails I sent yesterday, that perhaps we can have, ooh, look at who's on the cause list today. Right. Wow. Interesting. Wow. Yes, sir. I'm hoping that we can have things expedited a little bit more so. The cause list is ever so interesting. And do you know that it's a matter of public record? You can look at the cause list. You can see what's coming on, who's going to be in court. Like we have somebody that's up for criminal sentencing today. Ivan Malik McField, don't know who he is. He's got possession of ganja, possession of a utensil, used in the consumption of ganja, and consumption of ganja. So that sentencing is this morning. And he also has something in grand court. I don't know what that matters about. But yes, you need to like show up if you can, because we don't have the resources to be able to, well, not really the resources, the procedure just isn't there to live stream it so that it is open for public consumption. And I think at some point that has to be the case. The other thing is, you know what would be really fantastic? Jury sequestration. Because we don't sequester the jury. So in other words, in the US, when you have a high profile trial, you sequester the jury. And what that means is, oh, look at who's in court today. Our friend Mario Blake. Oh my God. Let's go through the court list in a second. It's always fun to go through the court list. But anyway, yes, I feel like because we have no jury sequestration, people can always claim that, oh, well, you know, if you talk about the case or whatever, the jury is going to be tampered with, or the jury might be influenced and I can't get a fair trial. Sequester the jury. It's the easiest solution in the world, and yet Cayman does not use jury sequestration. Yes, put them in a hotel, bus them to and fro the facility, and put them in lockdown. Now, I know no jury is going to like that, but why not? And it makes more logical sense because this is such a small community that you do that so that they have no access to the internet. They have no access to, you know, be able to go on YouTube or whatever. Lock them down for a week and just get the trial on and over with. There are things that we can do to change the games that the defendants want to play. But as a wise man once said, they're only delaying the inevitable. Time longer than rope, as Steve McField said. And it sure is. And so in other words, it's only a matter of time before everybody gets their just deserves. And you know what every defendant deserves? A day in court to be heard fairly, to have their defense put forward, to hear the prosecution case, and for either jury or judge to decide. And until then, they remain innocent. Miss Barbara, good morning. Valdine is here. So good to see you. Both Barbaras, Barbara Campbell and Barbara Barnett. Thank you. Lucky Body, Wagwan, getting vaccinated this morning. Good for you. Get that vaccination. The only reason why I'm reconsidering tomorrow is because there are actually a number of events that I have to go to. And I know sometimes you get like a little feverish. So now I don't know. I think I might just suck it up. Take a Tylenol beforehand, go take the vaccine and just suck it up. If I'm feeling a little bit feverish, hopefully it won't be too bad. Whatever. Just do it. Evelyn, good morning. Good morning, Miss Bonnie. You want to know how effective the lottery is? Remember we were talking about this vaccine lottery yesterday? Hold on now. Let me tell y'all something. Miss Celine, good morning. Yes, Evelyn, ashy when I'm away in the winter. Child, ashiness can be a constant state of mind. You just got to moisturize your body. The heat makes you dry. The cold makes you dry, everything. Louise says it's 45 degrees and chilly. You know, the one thing I notice with cold weather, virtuosus, there's some pictures of me, like when I was in university at USF, where I look extremely pale and people are like, oh my gosh, were you like bleaching or something? I was like, child, please. Do I look like I have to bleach this beautiful brown skin? Who on earth would want to bleach that? I don't need to be any clearer or whiter than I am. But what I do notice is that in cold winter weather, when I don't have that sun, and I actually have had, and I don't know if I still do or not, but a vitamin D deficiency, even in Cayman, I was not getting enough vitamin D. And the doctor was like, I think it was Dr. Sydney. He's like, just go out in the sun for half an hour a day. And I was like, oh Lord, Dr. Sydney, do you not know that I can't take the sun? Like legit, if I go out in the sun, I've actually had like a heat stroke before. I forget what the medical term is, but I had to be in the hospital for an entire day getting fluids. And the doctor at first was like, when they got back all the blood work, they were like, are you taking, oh God, I forgot what the supplement is now. Some supplement. And I was like, no. And they said, have you been working out? Because sometimes I think when people work out, this particular supplement or whatever this is, I'm trying to remember what it's called now. But it naturally, the body can naturally produce it as well as people can take a supplement. But people who work out, it tends to be elevated. And people who are in the sun a lot also get it. It's like gardeners and stuff like that. If they go out in the sun, is it creatine, something, I can't remember, but something gets elevated. And so when they got my blood work back, that was the only thing that was like elevated. And they're like, have you been like taking the supplement, going to the gym or working out or being in the sun a lot? And I'm like, well, definitely not the first three, but the sun, I went out like the day before, putting out some yard signs and stuff. It was like a political thing I was doing. And so I was out for a little bit and they're like, you might have a little bit of a sensitivity to the sun. And I said, what? So I had to be in fluids like all day long. And I'll never forget that Pastor Al, may he rest in peace. I don't know if his sister Donna is here, but Pastor Al was actually making his rounds. This is before he passed away. He was making his rounds at the hospital and he stopped by to just randomly in the emergency room, say hi to everybody and check on people. And he's like, oh, hi, can I pray for you? Oh my gosh, I will never, that memory of him, because I did not really know him well. And I think maybe once or twice I've seen him perform a service, but that memory of him just being so kind and coming in the emergency room and just volunteering to pray for people, I thought was just so amazing. And so I said, yes, of course. And he actually brought me to tears with his prayers. He was a very powerful man of God, And so, yes, there is this thing. I think it's cretin or something like that. But anyway, you got to be careful with the sun. You can get too much or too little, apparently. So yes, I have noticed that in winter weather, I have a tendency to get very pale, like almost like you look at me and you're like, are you iron deficient? If there's something, is there something else going on? And I don't actually think it was any of those things. When I look back at the picture, it was just, I was super, super pale because, even in Florida, in Tampa, the weather, when it gets cold in the winter months, you're not getting as much sunshine. So speaking of sunshine, Barbara says, good morning, sunshine. Evelyn is fully vaccinated. She said, did not sit well with me, but I survived. And I keep thinking about this because I think everyone is kind of like, do I do the vaccine? It might make me a little bit feverish. Hey, Jamelia, what's up? What's up? Good morning, Alan. And yes, Charles, CC went crack-a-lack-a-lackin'. So, listen, if you get a little fever from the vaccine, what's the big deal? Have we not been sicker than that? I mean, God knows I've been way sicker than that. And the benefit is we're going to get that much closer, one more person closer to trying to reopen our borders so that you guys, especially in tourism, can survive. And this just isn't about people in tourism because there's a definite trickle-down effect. People who work in tourism have family members that rely on them. And those family members are hurting and they can't survive on $1,500 a month. Government doesn't have any money. I don't know who's been lying to y'all. That was Alden lying about he's going to increase it to $2,500, whatever. Government don't have the money. Don't be fooled. That was a cheap campaign trick that never really worked for him. But government doesn't have the money to be doling out. They're hemorrhaging. And you will soon see the real figures come in once they paid their bills. The other thing I understand is that the progressives weren't even paying the bills. So no wonder they can claim that they have the surplus. Because when you ain't paying your bills, of course you can have plenty of money in the bank. Who doesn't? If I don't pay my mortgage right now, honey child, I'm rich. But guess what? The first is right around the month. The first is right around the corner. And all I know is you better pay it. Because the bank is going to be like, hello, we need our money. All right, let's watch this. Ohio's COVID vaccine rates doubled in some counties after the state introduced the vaccine lottery. So, First Lady Jan Jasara, good morning. Indira is here. Buenos dias. Hi, Miss Donna. Yes, I was just thinking about your brother, Miss Donna. I know you guys must miss him so much. Here is when people think about, oh, well, why do we have to incentivize a person? Why are we going to give them, a burger or a prize, free Kim and Airways tickets or whatever? Listen to me. Just listen. Incentivizing people works. Yes. Take a Tylenol or whatever and lots of water. Oh, don't take it before. Oh, Ellen's Closet said don't do it beforehand. Oh, okay. I think I need to read up the do's and don'ts. By the way, did I say Steve McField? My apologies. I meant to say Dr. Frank. Definitely Dr. Frank is the playwright in the family. Someone lost their vaccine card yesterday, and a Good Samaritan found it, and they know to come to CMR. And of course, the person got reunited with their vaccine card. Be careful with your vaccination card. This person had been completely vaccinated. And I don't know, I'm going to ask Ms. Lizette over at the HSA, once you're completely vaccinated, are they keeping that information in a database so that if you lose your card, which is obviously going to happen to some of y'all, does that mean that they have a record of it? I would hope so, right? Because they're keeping track of numbers, but are they keeping track of individuals who have been vaccinated just in case they need to issue a replacement card? But in the meantime, make sure to definitely keep your vaccine card in a safe place. Treat it like your passport. I don't walk around with my passport, honey. There's no need to do that because it's not like I'm going to be running to the airport every minute of the day. So my passport is kept under lock and key in a safe place until it's needed. And then I pull it out. Louis makes a good point here about showering and moisturization. He says that there's a 3-minute window to apply lotion to hydrate your skin. Water and moisturizer is best for the skin with the biggest member, which is the biggest member of the body. Yes, your skin protects you from all sorts of things. So I think it's very, very important to treat it well. You're most welcome, Ms. Donna. He was so kind. I mean, I could just see that even from my limited interaction with him. So yes, folks, moisturize. I can't do half an hour a day in the sun, but I try to maybe do like a little 5-10 minutes and hope that that's enough vitamin D. Miss Iva, my mangoes are finished. Can you believe it? 2 days later. I must have like a green mango belly because they're all gone. Now, they weren't like super green. They were turned for sure. But that's how I love them. They were so delicious, Miss Iva. You must have the most gorgeous and beautiful mango tree. That's all I can say because it is absolutely gorgeous. Miss Lorita is here. So let us see how well the vaccine lottery has worked for our American counterparts. Loretta is also fully vaccinated. Wonderful. Alba, buenos días. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy bien. Muchas gracias. Sí. I've been meaning to start practicing my Espanol more, but time is always against us. But I'm good. Katie, good morning, my love. How are you? She confirms not to take Tylenol before. Oh, maybe it interferes with the vaccine. Miriam suggests taking a photo of your vaccination card. That's a wonderful idea, Miriam. I like that. Or get it scanned as well. That's probably a good idea, just in case. A little backup. All right. You see, I got a busy day on Saturday, so I'm just a little bit concerned. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, yes, please pick some more. I love it. So Miss Daisy says, muy buenos dias, Sandy. Muchas gracias. How do I say and to you also? Y tú también? Is that good enough? Let us watch this video, folks.
Meantime, to combat slowing COVID vaccination rates, CVS giving away big prizes to those who have gotten or will be getting jabbed. Bertha Coombs joins us this morning with more on that story. Bertha.
Yeah, big inducements here. Any adult who's been vaccinated through CVS or does it by July 10th can register for its One Step Closer sweepstakes starting next week. The biggest giveaways, they're pretty big. Five $5,000 cash prizes for family reunions, 100 7-day cruises on Norwegian Cruise Lines for 2, a VIP trip for 2 in partnership with Procter & Gamble to Super Bowl 56, a VIP package with iHeartRadio to the iHeart Music Festival, and with dating site Hinge, a $5,000 gift card for what they're calling the ultimate date, and hostel stays with Wyndham as well. Now, do these giveaways work? Well, Ohio just announced the first of 5 winners of its Vax a Million and full scholarship sweepstakes last night. Since launching that lottery, vaccination rates in the state doubled in some counties. More than 2.7 million people have registered as of Monday. And this week, the U.S. Treasury signed off on states using COVID relief funds for those prizes, with 4 more states now running sweepstakes. CVS could be the first corporate vaccine giveaway on this scale. The company says it is part of the federal retail pharmacy partnership. It wants to step up, but certainly getting folks vaccinated in their stores, Andrew, not a bad thing for revenues.
Interesting. But if you've already gotten vax, can you still get the prize?
Yeah, even folks who have gotten vaccinated in nursing homes, everyone who's already gotten the jab at CVS, they can go register to be part of the sweepstakes. You know, this comes as we have seen with the expansion of vaccination to more people, rates coming down. Right. If you take a look at the CDC figures, back in April, we were averaging about 3 million shots a day or over that. And over the last week or so, we've trended down to about 1.5 million a day. So there really is this effort to try to push more people to get us closer to that sort of herd immunity level.
All right, folks, there you have it. Some very, very interesting information. Now, Richard says he's joining us from England. So nice to see you. A rising number of people have taken their 2 vaccine shots and are still being infected with COVID. Some have caught it twice, even after taking 2 shots. One person I know, but you won't hear that in the main media. Actually, you will. I've seen that story many times. It's all over the news, in fact. And we can play a video in relation to that. There's a couple reasons why that actually happens. So we can pull some of those up, but there are a number of reasons why it can happen. I'm just trying to find a more recent video, but what you will find that is actually happening is that you are less likely to die from it. This is the difference, right? So no one is saying when you get the vaccine that you're never going to get COVID and it's like this miracle pancreas. We've already said that that isn't the case. And those of you who still believe that, rest assured that that is not the case. What happens, however, is that when you get vaccinated, you give yourself a better chance of, I guess, being in that asymptomatic category, or even if you have symptoms, you get a better chance of not being extremely sick. And the death toll, which is what we're trying to control, is the most important thing. So it's a question of, would you rather take a vaccine and maybe there's a 5% chance, because I mean, it's supposed to be 90-something% effective. I think it's more than 5% or less than 5% chance that you would actually get the virus to begin with. And then if you get it, there's even less of a chance that it's going to cause your death. So it's really a question of like, this is, if I was a gambling person, 90-something% is a pretty decent gamble of protection. Nothing is 100%. Birth control is not even 100%, y'all, just in case you didn't know. But yet I know people who've been in birth control all their lives and never had a child because they fall into that. If it's 98%, they're good. So you kind of got to think about it. Does that mean that you shouldn't get vaccinated? To me, that doesn't make any sense. Walking around with no protection, right? And using the argument that, oh, if I take the vaccine, I can still get it. But you're like 97% or 96% unlikely to get it. And then you even have a greater protection from being severely ill. It's just like, why would you even think that way? To me, it's just really weird how people try to legitimize their way of thinking. Louis wants to know, what is Elvis offering to get vaccinated? We need him on the show. I don't know if he's offering anything, but probably not weed, because that would be illegal here in the Cayman Islands. Yes, imagine winning that lottery. Oh my gosh. Robert Turk, buenos dias, ¿cómo estás? So there's lots of very, very interesting reasons why you can still contract it. Sometimes it's timing. So you got this window. There's proof that even after the first vaccine, remember now there's 2 dosages. So after the first dosage, you get some protection, but you're not fully protected. And that's why it is very, very important to go up to that second dose. Now, even when you get the second dose, there is a window for your immune system to build up to. And if you're not there yet, then you're simply not there yet, and you remain vulnerable. The other thing that is happening is that there are people who are being exposed to some of these new variants. You know, there's like an Indian new variant and all of this other stuff. So yes, there could be a number of reasons, but generally speaking, overall, we are seeing a significant number of people who are being protected and a significant decrease. In fact, the US is starting to reopen a lot of their different areas. I think they're out there testing a cruise ship right now. Now, there was something in the news about Cayman allowing cruise ship people in, and that's a bit of fake news. So I want to make sure, folks, that we're all on the same page in terms of what's happening with our borders. There's a lot of information about, are we closing the borders? Are we reopening the borders? Are we doing this or that? Listen, the government has made no official announcement. I'm sure that they are in talks with different stakeholders, including CETA, the Cayman Islands Tourism Association, and others, about how it will happen. Because you can't just be like, oh, we're at 70, 80% vaccination, just fling open the doors. That's not how it's going to happen. There will still be some protocols in place that must be followed. So this whole situation or idea that there's some cruise ship that we have approved to be coming to Cayman and to be tested is actually fake news. Speaking of fake news, did you guys see yesterday people continue to troll the Compass? I don't know what's going on. I think maybe their database, their customer database, or something has happened. I don't know if it's specifically their database, but some troublemakers, scammers, whatever, have gotten a hold of a lot of email addresses in the Cayman Islands. And they did it to us once as well. Because remember, I told you there were certain people like Shondell calling the police, like, ooh, CMR's emailing me. And I'm just like, the level of ignorance in this country sometimes is quite shocking. And I mean, it just is shocking. We had actually done a story on the fact that someone had sent out an email claiming that this story was up on CMR, and this is what they do. So let me show you this one that they did with the Compass yesterday. They stick their story up there, send that by email, and then they're like, click here. And they always make it sensational, right? So Cayman Islands reports first case of Indian COVID-19 variant. Who wouldn't be afraid of that? By Norma Connolly, it says. Now, if you looked at this, you would see that they put Cayman Island and not Cayman Islands. Everybody knows with any sense that we are more than one island, but this person doesn't, because English isn't their first language, I'm sure. So the Compass isn't going to make this kind of amateurish mistake where they say Cayman Island more than once. So this is a fake thing. Don't click on it. You see where it says click here to read more? Trust me, don't do it. This is like a phishing email trying to get your information. So someone has just informed us that the traffic in South Sound is a bit crazy today. I don't know if there's an accident or what's happening. So we shall see. Okay, so I haven't had any reports yet. I don't think of any accidents. I don't know what's causing it. Okay. So, yes, thank you guys so much. Wow, this person says someone just called me. Apparently, some film crew is around this area. Worst time to do this. Oh my gosh, a film crew causing traffic woes in the morning. Did they not know? Give us a break. Let's get to work first. Anywho, someone is advising them poorly. Yeah, so this is a fake email, folks. Don't click on it. Don't share it. It is what it is. The Indian variant, I guess, is what is got people the most scared at the moment. But good morning, Giovanni. How are you? Miss Darlene, how are you? She says that's in the news today. The study shows that fully vaccinated people, your chance of dying or just getting very poorly ill is small. So Giovanni says fake news. They want to ensure that all is okay before they reopen. What part was fake news? I'm not sure specifically. Sue says all the Caribbean islands are opening up now, just not Cayman. Yes, all still need a PCR test to go into it. Well, some of them have actually never really closed, let's be honest. Oh, Natasha says if you do click on it, you'll be asked to log into your Flow account. What? So they want access to your Flow account. Why? Yeah, okay. So Jeff confirms that he saw a film crew there earlier with the police. Why wouldn't the police inform them? Because, normally the police will give permission for these types of things to happen. Why wouldn't the police say, Mr. Film Director, or, they have people on these film crews who they are responsible for actually doing like the time scheduling when they're out filming, recording, they find the location, they do all that kind of stuff. Why wouldn't the police have said morning traffic, especially on a Friday morning, when people are trying to get to work, is not the time to engage in a film? Natasha says volume is gone. Has it? Let me just check something. Mic is still on. Normally I can tell when I do this because it shows me. Nope, volume looks good, Natasha. Check your phone because I think we're good here. I think if you're listening to a mobile device or from a mobile device, especially, sometimes it can dip in and out depending on what's going on with the internet. So I did promise you guys, let's look at a sample cause list. Sue says, because they don't care. So this is what a cause list looks like. This one actually looks a little weird today. This one almost looks like it's been scanned. Normally it looks a little bit more like the font on this is like really weird. But this is civil court. So this is Acting Magistrate Jones. It doesn't say what courtroom, because normally when you go to court, they have it up on the board. They've written this part in. So they kind of decide after the fact when to or where to actually host, the scheduling of who's going to be in what courtroom and whatever. So this is civil examination of judgment debtor. And we have a Richard Antonio Vargas and an Anthony Blair. Those are the two parties for that matter. We have Michael Maxwell and a Mario Blake. You guys will know Mario. He's Vibes Time Mario. Nobody knows how this man is still in Cayman because of his history. We have a Yolanda Frederick and an Anita Mae Edwards, Dex Limited, and Fernando Mendez. And apparently there's also an ex parte notice of motion. Now, those, because it's ex parte, you notice that they have no names listed. That's because the other party isn't notified. So that's what ex parte means, is that they are excluding. And there's certain types of proceedings that they can do that for. So let's see what else is coming up. We also have the acting magistrate Allard. I think that's how, or Allard. I don't know how they pronounce her name. So this again is civil. So we have a Carla Hall and a Luis Medina. And normally the first person you see is the, hold on now, let me think. Civil court is going to be the plaintiff and the defendant. Yes? So the first person is who's doing the suing. The second person is who's being sued. The proprietors of Strata Plan 236 versus Pelican Reef Limited. And then it tells you on the side who is representing them. So these are law firms. IP is in person. So that's the person themselves basically representing themselves. So yeah, you get to see civil court list as well as criminal. Let's see what's popping off. And so this is Magistrate Gunn. She'll probably be in courtroom 2. And she's doing a criminal sentencing this morning for Ivan Malik Macfield in relation to that. Now, the grand court list, which are the more serious offenses, get sent out once per week. We have a Carlene Ashley Barnes, drunk and disorderly persons, and assaulting a police officer in the execution of their duty, of his duty. It's a criminal mention, which means that not much is going on. They'll just probably put it off to another date. They may decide at mentions, they decide on other things like, okay, the next time we'll have a case management hearing. We might do, have you applied for legal aid, like that sort of thing. So for the grand court list, that's normally sent out on like Monday, because you get it for the entire week. And then if there are any amendments or changes throughout the week, then you get those as well. And you got summary court list, traffic court. I think traffic court is only on Tuesdays. I will be double checking, but I believe that's the only day that there's no, you can have traffic court, I think, almost any day. Here's traffic court. Traffic court can be very interesting. Sometimes I like to go to traffic court and just have a look. Here's Diego Alexander Bodden being accused of a lot of stuff: driving without insurance, careless driving, driving a vehicle with expired license, driving and taking and driving a conveyance without consent. Ooh, those are some serious allegations against Diego. Alwyn Butram for speeding. Francisco Raimundo Cruz, driving under the influence. Matthew Miller, using a mobile phone while operating a vehicle. Y'all know that's an offense. That's why I'll be trying to be careful. I'm like, let me pull over when I need to take a picture now. Because when you get a ticket for that, you might as well just pay your ticket. Theodore O'Neill Morgan. So someone said to me the other day, and I want you guys to weigh in on this. They were saying to me that, the police were issuing warrants for people's arrest because they'd not paid their tickets. And they're like, well, how can they be doing this during COVID? And I was like, what do you mean? The law continues even during COVID. And yes, people are not working. But if you're not working and you have broken the law previously to that or since that, you have to know that regardless of whether you're working or not, there are consequences. relating to even traffic offenses. So, yes, my dear child, the authorities will be coming for you and expecting you to pay for your traffic ticket. And if you can't afford to pay for it, instead of having them send someone to arrest you, what I would recommend, because that's what happens when they issue a warrant, it's a warrant for your arrest. Save police the time and resources and borrow the money from a friend. Don't steal it. Okay? Just borrow it. Tell a friend, listen, I gotta pay this traffic fine, $150, whatever. And I would be most appreciative of the little loan until I get back on my feet. Now, if they're a good friend, let's be honest, they're probably going to be like, you know what? I'm still working, buddy. You're not working. Let's not worry about it. I can spot you the $150 because some of y'all go out and drink that out in a weekend or even a Friday night for happy hour. I've just put some eye drops in my eye because I noticed my eyes are very, very dry today. So pay your traffic tickets on time. Pay your court fines on time. I know that it's a sacrifice. Believe me, I have been there. But at the end of the day, the alternative of having a warrant issued for your arrest, of them coming for you, just is not nice. No bueno. Okay? Let's talk about court news a little bit more. This young lady, and I feel like she looks very familiar. I'm trying to see where I could have potentially met her, where I know her from. I can't pinpoint it right now, but I've definitely had a conversation with her. I feel like it's that sort of a situation. Like I've seen her. Anyway, Jada Smith is her name. And little Jada has an issue with what we will call sticky fingeritis. I've just totally made that up, but you guys know what I'm talking about. All 315 of you who are listening right now, shout out to our YouTube crew, shout out to our Facebook crew, and shout out to the folks who are actually listening via the website as well. So little Jada suffers from sticky fingeritis. And what that means is that she's a thief. Yes. A thief. Aunt Lottie's pearls of wisdom. Do not steal from people. She kept that one very, very simple. It didn't need much of an explanation. Don't steal. How much simpler can you get? Well, little Miss Jada has stolen a substantial amount of money, actually. Over $50,000. There was, I think, 4 charges of theft and 1 of transfer of criminal property. So when you add those all up together, it's over $50,000, closer to 60 grand. And little Jada has found herself in court. She initially claimed that she didn't do it. She was working at CNB. Now, she was there for about a year, I understand. And I guess nobody must have told her that you don't mess with CNB and their money because, child, let me reassure you, CNB, they're not playing around. They will definitely take you behind to criminal court because CNB has a reputation to maintain. And, every single time someone is putting their reputation at risk, they're going to make sure that the police are notified of the criminal activity. And this is exactly what has happened with little Miss Jada. So she's a thief. She never got Aunt Lottie's pearls of wisdom. And so she decided to steal money from multiple accounts, all $1,700 up to, let me just double check the, hold on one second. Let me just double check hold on one second now. The amounts, because again, it's multiple. Yes, poor little Jada. Only like 19, 20 years old. Very young girl. $7,200 from one person, $11,600 from another person, $7,200 from another account, $19,000. This is the concealment of property, $19,500, and then she stole from another account $14,300. This child wasn't working. Okay, she was stealing at the bank because there's no way she could be stealing that kind of money and was actually doing any work. So, Miss Doreen, good morning. Good morning, Leroy. She has an entanglement with other people's money, says Leroy. Yeah, she got sticky fingeritis real bad. Janetta says, how, as a bank teller, does she have so much access? I don't get it. Well, what she was doing is apparently she was filling out slips. There's a couple different ways that she was doing it, just like the one from Fidelity the other day. They try to get creative, but the bank is going to track every single thing. So she was filling out, I think, withdrawal slips. And then she was forging the client's signature on it. So once some of these clients realized that some money was going, they're like, hold on a second. I didn't take that money out of my account. And then next thing you know, the bank goes and pulls up the CCTV footage. And sure enough, they show that the client wasn't there that day. But who do they see at the ATM machine withdrawing money or, whatever? Little Miss Jada Smith. Girl, why would you go ruin your name for this kind of foolishness? I do not get it. This is just stupid and stupider. There's another picture of her. So she claims, after doing all this thieving, when her supervisor said to her, she said, she needed to pay rent money. Because, every time somebody steals, they want to legitimize their bad behavior. They always want to, I needed it to buy food. I've got children that need to eat. They always come with these excuses. She's got to pay rent. Okay, you're working at the bank. I don't know what kind of money she's making. But if you're working in a job and you don't have enough money to pay rent, you need to think about two things. Number one, you probably need cheaper accommodations. I don't know where you were living and how much you're paying for rent, but think about some cheaper accommodations. Number two, ask somebody for help. Apparently she has a boyfriend named Bubbles or something, DJ Bubbles. He not making enough money from DJing to help you with your rent, girl. Maybe the two of you could move in together. You could get a roommate if you don't want to move in with him. Share the expenses with other people. That's one way of cutting back on rental. Get a room instead of a whole place to yourself. But the solution is not to steal from other people. That doesn't work very well. So then her supervisor said, well, why didn't you request a salary advance? Then she broke down crying and said that she's not speaking to her family, and so she could not seek their assistance. I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Unfortunately for her, her mom is a detective with RCIPS's financial crime unit. By all accounts, her mom's a nice person. I feel very, very sorry for families when young people or older people and whomever make these types of really poor decisions, because it reflects poorly on everyone, not just them. But what can the family do, really? I guess they'll have to now support her, because when she comes out, she's been ordered to repay this money by 2023. So she's got to find a job out there somewhere. She only got 6 months, by the way, for stealing and dealing with that kind of money, which I thought was amazing. She had some sort of an accomplice by the name of Maritza Shakira Bennett. It doesn't look like she's been charged yet, which is very, very interesting. Now, little Miss Jada Smith seems to have had a relatively bright future ahead of her. She did a summer internship program at a local law firm. And I don't know whatever became of that, but her future is probably as bright as she wanted it to be. So yeah, Janita, there you go. Oscar, how are you? Are you still in Honduras enjoying yourself? Or are you now in quarantine? Yes, honey child, call me so I can come in and do my little annual checkups. Yeah, her mom is still a cop, to the best of my knowledge, working in financial crime of all things. I guess Jada probably sat down a lot with mommy and watched, like I said, yesterday, one too many episodes of CSI. And she thought, oh, yes, I can steal this money. Nobody will ever know. And then she was stealing money from one person that she claims was her ex-partner or whatever. To me, that's stupid to steal from people that you know. And I mean, it's just stupid to steal, but like when you steal from people with very little money, here's the joke about it. They're more likely to notice it. Because listen, $1,700 go missing from my money. I'm going to be like, I only had 1,701. So why do I only have $1 left? Right? So that's just dumb, stupid. But I find that most criminals are not entirely bright. Because if they're bright to begin with, they wouldn't commit crimes, because that's not the smart thing to do. The smart thing to do is work for your coin, so nobody can come rolling up on you, telling me they're about to arrest you and haul your ass off to jail. Yeah, she's got a lot of nerve, says Miss Sue. She's doing a lot at that young age. It's very sad. Good morning, Mr. Tommy from the Bahamas. Anthony says it must be humiliating for the parents. It has got to be. I mean, I can only imagine. Sometimes I look at my little daughter. She's not even 5 yet. And I think, oh my God, her future. What's it going to be like? But as a parent, you can only do the best job that you can do. And then when you have a young child who's 19, 20 years old, it's on them to do the right thing. You've invested in them. You've done your best. You tried to teach them the right way. And if they decide not to go down that path, So Anne makes the point that 6-month sentence will be small compared to making a new life. So very sad. Yeah, I mean, the impact on her is indeed going to be significant, but I think she should have gotten more than 6 months. Hello, Miss Tracy. How are you? Well, no one would certainly give her a job around money, Miss Rosemary. Maybe she'd do other things, but it won't be related to money. Mr. Oscar says he's back and he's in quarantine. 3 more days remaining to go. Nice. Julie says $11,000 one time. I don't know if it was one go, because I do see she did multiple transactions. So it may have been for the purposes of the indictment sheet that they just tabulated everything that she stole from a particular client. I get the feeling that that's what happened. It wasn't like one go. It was like $1,700 here, another $1,700 there. Karen says it'll be hard for her to get a job. You know what, though? I'm going to be honest with you. I have found, and this is just my personal anecdotal observation, that thieves or alleged thieves have a much easier time finding a job than, say, someone who is just vocal in the community. Now, this is quite interesting, and I have seen it happen time and time again. That that people who have stolen money seem to get opportunities that the rest of us wouldn't get. They're always employed. And that's why some of them are always stealing, because the second they get employed, they do the exact same thing. So this community seems to be very forgiving. CE Bank said only 6 months. Horrible. Wrong sentence these judges are sending. I was into banking many years ago, many years now. I was always around money, and never did I ever think about stealing what wasn't mine. Yes, and you can't steal what is yours. So that's a good point. Miss Elizabeth, buenos dias. Tony joining us from Ontario. Good morning. Raining and chilly, but still nice. Oh, yeah, we give them second chances, third chances, fourth and fifth chances. And they still stealing. So confirmation that the traffic situation was indeed because of a film crew, annoying people with early morning traffic. CE Banks was a head teller for 17 and a half years. No. Was a head teller at 17 and a half years old, and still told that, and still hold that title. Oh, as the youngest head teller. Wow. That's what you. Very sad to go and ruin your life over paper. that isn't even producing Cayman. The Bible says the love of money is a root of all evil. Yes. Larry said, did I just hear Gangster Paradise? Yes, honey child, that is my ringtone at the moment on my phone. And I did not have it on silent, and somebody was calling me. So yes, you've got very good ears. Gangster Paradise notifying me that I've got a call. Louisa agrees that it won't be hard for her to find a job. I know persons who've stolen always get jobs so easily. It is a bit of a very interesting observation, but I have also noticed it as well. A lot of people believe in second chances. Remember Woody Foster was on the program the other day saying that someone who's in court now for allegedly masterminding a robbery was hired by his organization despite the fact that they knew that person remains innocent until proven otherwise. And so Woody and his team there over at Foster's is willing to give people a chance. I understand they've since quit that job. But yes, there you have it. So Jada, we wish you the best of luck. There was proof that she was actually out there spending the money online shopping. So this excuse about needing it to pay your rent doesn't seem like it's true if you can find money to be shopping online. Amazon don't want your stolen money, y'all. All right. So the other thing that is interesting is the streets are talking that some of her family members are going around telling people that she apparently has gone off to university. And that is why they have not seen her. Oh, okay. What a hot mess. Oh, Lord. I don't know what y'all be lying for. Like, honest. Why? Why do you lie? It makes no sense to lie, folks. Oh, my God. Seriously. Lord have mercy. This came out, y'all. You don't think that we're going to know that she's not in university for 6 months, that she's in Northwood, Fairbanks. I don't know why people lie. I really don't. Oh, stupid. Lying is stupid. Stealing is even stupider. Anywho, it is what it is. And she's going to enjoy a little bit of time in prison. Bless her little heart. And I really hope that she now learns a lesson. Time will tell. We shall see. Marshall says, I don't think Amazon cares where the money comes from. Oh, Amazon's like, we not business. You just pay us first. Hi, Sherry. Thank you. I feel like it's a little bit lopsided today. Like this side has more because I was kind of refreshing the curls. But Sherry, I've actually been getting a lot of compliments about the curls, and I think I will rock them on a regular basis now that I'm going through this hair transition. Mona says Fairbanks is a university, of course. Well, if you're smart, it's going to probably be the most important lesson that you've ever learned. I'm just saying, don't come to Fairbanks again. Should be the lesson, right? 3 square meals a day. They probably give them snacks in between. I wonder what life is really like in Fairbanks. I understand that for the women, it's not really that bad because they're more of like a communal situation. They're not in individual cells. They kind of live like a dormitory style. I don't know. Does anybody know? Any of y'all been to prison? Y'all can tell me. So it's more like, let me braid your hair. Let me paint your nails. They have a beauty school there. Yeah. Cooking classes, probably learning how to sew. So maybe it is a little bit like a university. CE Banks talking about a new song by Alan Jackson. I love him. I'm not a huge country fan, but there are certain country songs that I do like. Miss Ann says, what a story, not past CMR. This is just a horrible example to someone who's already in trouble. Yeah. Listen, Ann, I don't know why they be lying for. It's like the man arrested for child with the 15-year-old, right? Child rape is what we need to be calling it. Apparently, I spoke to someone yesterday, and there's more than one case. And it looks like some of the details that we have in the article is not from a current case, but another case. But it's more than one, which is shocking that the police are at least aware of. The police have still not said anything, and I hear nothing from them. We did send them an email asking the question, and we've not gotten a response. So normally when we get no response, that ain't going to stop us from publishing what we have. And we will just say, listen, the police have not confirmed or said anything. Yeah. So Sandy, you mentioned our government, which is us, the people, are broke. Yes, we are, honey. They got to pay bills, and then they're going to be able to show you the balance sheet that says that we're broke. So while the progressives was tooting, oh, we've got this surplus. Everybody got a surplus till you pay bills, don't you? Pay bills, and then let's talk about the surplus. Okay, so yes, Marshall. I can't believe. Now listen, I understand second chances. I'm all for second chances. Yes, let's give people second chances. But if you know that someone has stolen before and has a case like this of really bad sticky fingeritis, you don't put them back. Like no bank, any bank that now hires this young lady as a bank teller, they deserve to have her steal all their clients' money and then they have to pay it back. Because this girl can't help herself. And so you don't put her back in a position of touching people's money. Never. Thank you, Anne Durrett. Good morning. Shion wants to know about any news on the Clifton Hunting teacher. Well, let me tell you. I'm waiting on some documentation to be sent to me regarding this. But what I do know, quite interestingly enough, is the primary complainant, which is a child, has been told by MASH not to talk to anybody about this situation. Y'all heard what I said, didn't you? So they didn't do right by the child, is what the child and her parents have alleged. But yet they're telling her, don't speak on it. You better yell from the rooftops of every house in Cayman. These teachers need to be dealt with. Tracy, 16% more of the population to get vaccinated. Is that in Cayman or Canada? Oh, must be there because you say deadline is June the 6th. Here, the deadline is June the 9th. So if you don't have your first vaccination by June the 9th, folks, that vaccine is going to be spoilt and they have to throw it away because then it's too late. So there is a shelf life. There is an expiration date. And June the 9th, good people, is that day. So that's why I got to get out there sooner rather than later because that's only a couple weeks away. Good morning to Scott. So nice to see you. Tracy says, let's take Cayman first to a new level and be the first Caribbean island to be vaccinated at that level. Yes, Julie, another klepto. We have a lot. Child, let me tell you. Probably other than traffic offenses, the single most common offense that's always showing up on the cause list is like stealing. We have some serious thieves in our community. I don't know what they be stealing for, because again, no one here, if you are really a person in need, I can tell you that we live in a community that no one is going to allow you to starve to death. even if you're a drug addict. You know, you might be getting the money you want for your crack habit. However, you will get food. People will give you food. So just ask. If you're hungry, just ask for a plate of food. People will feed you. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to say. There's no legitimate reason, is what I'm trying to say. But yes, I look at the list every day and I'm like, another theft. And some of them be, oh my God, so long. Oh, I mean, a long list. Now, there's some companies that are in court too. You guys might want to see this. NCB's in court. I need to get a copy of that file to see what that's all about. Let me show you another cause list that's quite interesting from this week. Here, have a look at this one. So this one was all of 6 pages. This was from Tuesday. Common assault causing bodily harm, willfully and wantonly disturbing inhabitant of a dwelling house. Now, this is a very interesting offense, actually. And this person was going around knocking in people's doors and that sort of thing. And the court is like, that's actually an offense. You don't really see it that often on the cause list, because I guess people don't do it that often, but it's actually an offense to go around disturbing people at their home. Yes. Failing to surrender. Sometimes you see that a lot as well. Assaulting police, resisting arrest. But look at this. NCB Construction Limited is in court, a whole bunch of failing to install standard guardrails and danger signs. I wonder if that's related to the man who fell off the balcony. I don't know. But there's a bunch of those. Failure to maintain and clean the work area. Using unstable objects or makeshift devices to increase the working height. I'm like, that's an offense? What? Storing building materials on a scaffold. Child, they got all kind of corporate. All sorts of work-related, safety-related offenses. Failure to comply with occupational safety and health regulations. Whoa, OSHA. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff there. I'm interested to see what this is all about. Failing to ensure that a place of employment is free from predictable hazard. Who knew that that was even an offense? Hot mess. And then here's more theft. Obtaining property by deception, theft. There's a bunch of those. Who's Louis Reyes? Theft. Refusing to give your name is an offense, just in case you didn't know. So all sorts of things on here, but yes, a lot of theft. Who is Preston Leon Barry Ebanks? Indecent assault. Really? You know, we got to keep an eye on this one. I got to highlight that one. Where's my little highlighter? Take out my little, not the whole thing. Yes, that's one that we definitely want to keep an eye on. Make sure that as that progresses, this is just a mention. So nothing going on yet, but we definitely want to keep up with that situation. Richard Ebanks, Stephen, theft again. Lots of you're still seeing a lot of the breach of that was in curfew, breach of community service order. Oh. Okay. What a mess. Yes, child. This was a long list. This one was 8 pages. Stalking. Stalking is an offense. Who's Jewel Eleanor Ebanks? Stalking? I can't say that I've ever seen a stalking offense ever. I didn't even know that that was a thing, like an actual offense here on the books. Stalking. Wow. Driving without being licensed. Da, da, da. Huh. Giving a false name and address. You can't do that, Liebert Martin. That's definitely against the law as well. And the police will find you. Giovanni Mata, failing to surrender. Mike McLaughlin, intentional harassment. Oh, this list is long, y'all. Wow. Brittany Scott, theft again, forgery, obtaining property by deception. Brittany, Brianna Scott. Oh, Brittany, who are you? What are you doing? All right, well, we'll keep an eye on the ones that we certainly can. Here's another one, theft again. Theft again. Will y'all please stop stealing from people? Theft. Oh my God. Wow. Well, theft all over the place. Another person complaining about the film crew, saying it took them 40 minutes. It's great to have another movie being shot here, but children are getting to school late because of them crossing the road in South Sound. Oh, we have a wandering dog that has been found in the Prospect area. Patrick's Island. We'll post that up here in a second. So this other person said their kids got to school at 8:30, which is ridiculous. Elizabeth, stealing for lifestyle. TB Parkinson's. Who remind me of who TB was again? Oh, wasn't TB supposed to message me about a mug? Someone mentioned, yes, that the situation at the school. Oh, Miss Beckford. Sorry, I'm seeing your comment now but to TB. Yes. Listen, I don't know what these schools are trying to do. But we have an obligation to inform the public of whatever shenanigans we believe and the students are saying is happening. You know, I'm just saying. Someone from the school said they had some good news to share with us. Actually, funny enough, I knew about this. They got some good marks in something here. Let me pass this on to Renee to work on this for me. Yes. All right. Very good. Listen, we give them props when we do good, but that doesn't mean that when they're trying to slide things under the table and ignore the needs of the children, that we're going to allow that to be ignored either. Moya says, I feel like we need to get to the root of the problem as there's a large spike with our younger generation stealing. A lot of it has to do with the high cost of living and the high rental prices. I don't believe that, Moya. I don't believe that there is a spike. I think they've been doing it for a very long time. And in fact, when I hear some of the stories about people who've stolen money 20, 30, 40 years ago, who have stolen money from banks to the point where the bank actually lost track of the amount. Once it hit like $1 million, they couldn't count anymore. So I don't think that that's the case, that they're necessarily stealing any less or more. I think maybe with more people, then yes, that's happening. And I do think that they're getting caught a lot quicker because of the forensic trail that is created, the forensic audit trail that is created for the forensic audit trail that is being created from the banks. Like they have a better paper trail basically and a lot quicker electronically. So I think that that explains what might be an uptake. The other thing is, before a lot of these cases, listen, the traditional media in Cayman doesn't really care about cases like this. They're normally going to just report the murder cases, that level. They don't always report on theft cases. Now, CMR, we believe in reporting on all sorts of cases. So theft is no exception. And so, yes, they will be highlighted just like everybody else. That's probably why you feel like there's a lot more, is they're actually getting reported on. So Natasha says, yes, it's not a spike. They just need to stop trying to live above their means and this celebrity lifestyle. And this idea that it's because of the cost of living being so high, this is what I will say. We've all been there where we've purchased things that we know we couldn't afford and we've had to pay the price. Some people, it might mean that they got in trouble with their landlord. They were late on the rent or whatever. Hopefully you weren't getting in trouble with the bank, but some of y'all got in trouble with the bank too, living above your means. And so maybe what our young people need is one of those courses from Michael Miles on fiscal management and how to live within your means, right? And so that might very well mean that you can't go out flossing with people. You can't go out purchasing all of this, the latest clothes every weekend and all of that sort of thing. It's just like, come on. It's just a bit much, I think. I see people living a lifestyle, making way less money than some of us. And they are living like every day they're in the salon, nails done, hair done, this and that. It's like, really? Wow. What a mess. That's not going to work. So I'm going to suggest y'all learn to live within your means. And if you can't live within your means, then don't steal from people. It's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Don't steal from people. Get financial help, budget. But honestly, the majority of these people are trying to live a lifestyle that is beyond anything. Sometimes I'll go out and I'll have like I'm a foodie, so I'll spend money on food. I have like a little lobster dinner, whatever. But then people are like, oh, well, how can you afford that? Well, first of all, my finances ain't none of your business because the bill's getting paid. But secondly, what you don't see is that the other things that y'all be spending money on. So I don't live up in the salon trying to get nails done every week because I need these long extensions that prevent me from even wiping my parts properly. That's money. That's like $100. How much are refills now? Refills, what do they call? Fills, whatever. Not refills, fills, nail fills, whatever. They ain't cheap. So one of the things I like to do is I like to keep very natural nails. I do a pedicure because, I don't want the feet looking like crocodile feet. So I do that on a regular basis. But hair extensions. Do you know how much hair extensions are? And some of y'all be rocking like hair extensions down to your feet. Buying all this pound by the hair is expensive. Thank you, Rosie, for sending that. Inspired Cayman Financial Peace University. Yeah, sign up with Michael. He can help you. So there are a lot of things that you can do to save money. Sometimes I sit down. Alcohol to me is a waste of money. And I see people spend a lot of money. Like I used to go out with some guys for happy hour. They walked away every single Friday with a $400 happy hour bill. You add that up for the month. That's your rent right there. Now they could afford it because they were professionals. But even to them, sometimes they're like, oh, payday's next week and I'm broke. I'm like, cut back on that happy hour bill and you'll be all right. You wouldn't be broke right now. We all have been there and we all need to do a little bit better. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. So I don't think it's the high cost of living that is doing them in at that level. I think those people just live above their means. They're not even using the money to invest in anything meaningful in terms of their own lives, their own education, that sort of thing. They're just legit thieves and trying to live this high ghetto fabulous life. Take, for example, Megan and what's the other lady's name that was stealing from the Polo store? Why are you going to the Polo store and stealing a $450 handbag for? Allegedly. You know, every weekend they be dressed up. Go look at their profiles. Now, it might not be like a Chanel outfit, but if you think about the fact that every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you have to be going out trying to impress your friends who really are not your friends and trying to look ghetto fabulous for their benefit with all kind of hair extensions and whatever. That's a lot of money. Listen, even if your cheap ghetto fabulous outfit costs you $150, $200, because you don't came out nothing really cheap. And you can't rewear an outfit because then you don't want to be seen. You're posing for all these pictures. So you don't want to be seen, you know, taking all these pictures. Oh, look, you're wearing that outfit again. Y'all just need to, yes, just get it together. And you're trying to impress people who are doing what and for what reason. You know, it doesn't even make any sense. Those people don't care about you. They're not going to help you pay your bills. That's the lesson there. Whew, what a hot mess. All this talking about shopping makes me want to just go and browse Amazon. Just see what they have. Oh, Amazon has millions of products, folks, and it's just so interesting to see. Their catalog of stuff is like amazing. I always tell people if Amazon doesn't have it, that means that you don't need it. It doesn't exist probably. It's legit crazy. Okay, what else is going on? Yes, child, they be trying to pretend and live this fabulous life. The CCMI is inviting Caymanians to stand up for the coral reefs on World Ocean Day. So World Ocean Day is coming up. When is it? Did they tell us? Hold on, let me see. World Ocean Day, June the 5th. And you can go to Cayman Bay at 1:45 p.m. And apparently they're going to have a stand up for World Ocean Day. So come on out. I think this is fantastic. Pledge to protect coral reefs. Yes. Why not? Why not? Let the coral reefs or tourism industry or oceans, everything is going to hurt significantly. All right. Let me see what else is going on. Oh, right. Okay, good folks. Do I have anything else that's going on? I'm just trying to check a few messages. Don't forget our community calendar, folks. Check out the community calendar. Lots of wonderful events are put on there. NPOs, send us your events. We're happy to place them on the community calendar. It's conveniently located on the website so that you can have a look at what's happening in the community. A couple events going on this weekend for sure. Youth Parliament is having a session tomorrow. I feel like I received an invite for that event. Let me just tell you, Youth Parliament. The Ministry of Tourism is requesting more BA flights. So this is a good thing. So apparently they're saying there's a demand over the summer because of kids obviously going back and forth. and they're asking for 2 additional flights to be added to the schedule in July and August. So the ministry has reached out to British Airways, Kenneth Bryan, the Minister of Tourism and Transport. So thank you so much for that information. The vaccination challenge is on tomorrow again at the airport, Owen Roberts International Airport, from 2:30 until 3:30. We will be there. And then we also have, just double checking here. Yes, Youth Parliament is tomorrow from 10:30 a.m. at the House of Parliament. So it was supposed to be on Commonwealth Day in early March, but this year's Youth Parliament was postponed because of the general election. So now it's happening tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. They have 22 participants from local high schools and tertiary institutions scheduled to debate 2 motions. We will be live streaming this for those of you who cannot go to this event. I think I will go because I love anything to do with young people. So yes. So I've got like at least 3 events, I think, that I have to attend tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be a busy day. That's what I'm thinking. It might not be the day that I want to get the vaccine. Like I need to get it on a day when I know if I got to go home and lie down for a little bit, I can do that. Tomorrow is not that day. But then when is that day? Like I feel like I'm going to just keep putting it off. And then the 9th is going to be here and I'm going to be pulling out my hair saying, oh no, I'm procrastinated. Gabby says, that's exactly why I stay away from a lot of these dance hall parties. There's too much hype and show off. Boy, Gabby, they be hyping and showing off more than people who can afford it. You know, the average legit wealthy person ain't going, they're not walking around looking like that. They're not trying to keep up with these ghetto fabulous parties every weekend. Child, they enjoying their little glass of wine and looking at the millions in the bank. That's a lesson for you. Elizabeth says, have you seen the 10-story buildings going down? Look beyond Treasure Island Hotel. Oh, God. Sometimes it pains me, Elizabeth, to drive on 7 Mile to even come into that area because I'm just like, it's a concrete jungle. How many condos do you think we have on the 7 Mile stretch? Maybe that's an FOI thing for planning, but it's a lot. It's just, I honestly do not miss tourists. I wish that there was a way for us to survive and redeploy people in tourism into other industries because I don't really miss those tourists all that much, to be honest. Some days I wish they would never come back. I know that's not a realistic wish, but honestly, the beaches are just so much nicer. Less traffic on West Bay Road and in Georgetown. Blissful says the people are talking. The people are saying that you're playing with my heart like a grand piano. The music I hear when I hear the shit taking place again. I don't know who sings that song, Blissful Powell. More BA flights in September, says Anthony. Money talks, wealth whispers. Ooh, Blair, I like that. Yes. Yes, child. And they don't even have money. They're stealing it. That's the thing. They're trying to pretend. But you're right. Wealth does whisper. Some of the most financially well-off people that I know just walk around in shorts and a t-shirt and drive just a regular little car. They might have $1 million house or $1 million condo, whatever, but they just, to look at them, you wouldn't even know, honestly. Carol says, I cry over the destruction of the beach, loss of access, and far too many buildings going up. Yeah, oh my God, it's a lot. West Bay, by the way, I've noticed the last couple of times that I have traversed into West Bay, they have a lot of construction going on down by Barker's, even right at the four-way stop, that little building that's going up next to the gas station that I legit thought was an extension of the gas station until someone informed me that no, that's Captain Eugene building apartments. I was like, building apartments that close to the gas station? That doesn't even look like that's safe. But anyway, thank you, Lulu. There's a lot of construction going on in West Bay. I feel like I need to drive through West Bay just to do a drive-by. Like, okay, there's this construction site. There's this one. There's this one. It's popping all over the place. Construction seems to be doing just fine. All right, I think I'm going to end the show a little bit early today, only because I need to go and do some stuff before I head off to court. There are a few things that I need to get done. I see some emails coming in that I absolutely need to respond to. So happy birthday to Benita Francis. She celebrated a birthday on Wednesday. We did put it up on the website, but I neglected to give her a birthday shout out here on the program. Who else is having a birthday? What other birthday greetings do we have? Oh my God. Did you guys see this? All stingrays residing in the Zoo Tampa Tcht tank mysteriously are found dead, and officials are investigating why. Oh my God. This is horrible. What happened? Oh my God. I hope nobody killed the stingrays. But regardless of how they died, whether it was natural causes or not, that's horrible. So they're going to send off a toxicology report to see what might be the cause of that. Wow. Wow. Crazy. Anyway, thank you, Blissful. Oh, Nicki Minaj. Ooh, she has a song called Grand Piano. I'll check it out. Northwest Point and most. Yes, lots of construction. Aliana says, now, Miss Sandy, hush your mouth. But there are a ton of condos in 7 Mile Beach. Can we expect we don't own the 7 Mile region anymore? Sure. I don't know who owns it. Sue says it all belongs to Dart. Well, he owns a good chunk of that area, but he also owns a lot of Georgetown and all over the place. So, but yeah, it looks like a concrete jungle, and I think it has for a while. But the other day I was driving through it, and I was looking at the condos. I'm just like, condo after condo after like every inch of 7 Mile Beach West Bay Road has been taken up by a condo. So it's just a hot mess. I don't even know what to say. Anyway, you guys have a beautiful weekend. Every single Friday I sit here and what do I say? Please don't drink and drive. Don't speed. Don't text and drive. Don't do all the things that can contribute to you having an accident. It kind of seems to fall on deaf ears. Like the people who need to hear the message are clearly not tuned into this program. Larry, thank you very much. Miss Elizabeth, thank you. This is a holiday weekend in the US. It's Memorial Day, as I recall. So Monday's a holiday for them. So please, American, all of you in the USA with your Caribbean connections, Larry, Marshall, who else is in the USA? All of you, Donovan, please be careful this weekend. There'll be a lot of people on the roadways in the States actually traveling up and down and all over the place. So I encourage you all to be safe on the roadways as well. That's all she wrote, good people. Have a wonderful, fantabulous weekend. Oh, by the way, there is a big announcement coming down the pipeline later on today about the world of radio in Cayman. And you guys know we told you something coming with CMR and a radio partnership. I'm excited. And we're going to tell you all about it a little bit later on. So we will live stream this big announcement. So make sure that you stay tuned for that because you do not want to miss it. That's all I'm going to say. I got to make sure I pack my tripods today, my microphones. I got some new mics that I'm trying for when I'm interviewing people. Hopefully, I did a test run last night. Hopefully they work as well as they worked in the trial run and that you can actually hear the people in front of the camera. Because this is just my little iPhone camera, right? Because that's like my shoot and go camera on the go. It's the easiest thing to use because I always have it on me. Anyway, Miss Darlene in the UK, thank you for tuning in. Miss Morna, Janita, everybody else, Tommy, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You notice I'm getting a little bit congested. My sinuses seem a little bit irritated this morning. So I'm going to deal with that before I figure out what I'm going to responding to emails and heading out on the road. And yeah, that's all she wrote. Right? Beautiful. Mwah, 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 mwah. Have a beautiful weekend, my good people. You guys look lovely. Thank you. I think that's it. We'll see you a bit later on for the live stream, for the special announcement. And then over the weekend, stay tuned because we'll be live streaming a bunch of events. Ta-ta.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of The Cold Hard Truth. Make sure to check Facebook for showtimes and more information and the latest news at CaymanMarlRoad.com. Subscribe to our IG and Facebook pages to get the latest happenings.